Hey there, this is Katherine. I am sharing a couple of sets of mini slimline dies. These are from LDRS Creative. I purchased these from HSN a while back. They were sold as a 2-pack. And they've got the measurements on the back, which I find super helpful. So I will keep that sheet of cardstock and put it into my folder so I know exactly what size my cards are going to be. And I love that they have measurements on the smaller pieces as well. That's just super helpful. That will allow you to be able to use it on other cards as well besides just the slimline. I wanted to point out that this die, that the largest die on each of these sets, one edge does not have any blade to it. So you can see a little bit in the camera that a little bit of different tone where there's blade, and then one side it is completely flat. So there's no edge to cut out, and that is what you're going to use to create your card base. I'm going to peel some of these other pieces off. There are layering dies in here, so you could either cut your scalloped square, or you can come back and put the thinner, smaller piece in there that is going to make your frame. And so that gives you a whole lot of versatility. You could make a frame. You can make these for shaker cards. Just a lot of versatility. So let me go ahead and get started. I'm going to be using this One Fine Day paper pack. This is, as of late, my absolute favorite paper pack pretty much ever, I think. I love the colors. So what I did is I chose one of the pieces and I went to my craft stash of paper and I pulled out some cardstock that I might use with them. And then there's also an ephemera pack that was a purchase as well. These I got from their website called Same One Fine Day. And then they're just some ephemera pieces. I'm probably going to use some of those as well. And I've got a couple of extra dies. There's a flower die that I might use. So let's just go ahead and get started. The first card I chose this strawberry paper, which I'm having a hard time letting it go because it's so pretty. And you can see, I'm just showing you here in this image, you've got the 3 lines and you can see where that top line, there's nothing. And that is what you're going to use to create your card base. So I am going to score my cardstock at 3.5. The size of that die is 3.25, but I'm just going to give myself a little bit of margin here. And then I'll fold that in half, and then I will cut off that bottom part so I don't have to waste that little bit of paper. I can use that for another project. So I'm just using my scoring tool here, my scoring board. I'm going to trim that down, and then I'll show you how I'm going to assemble this to create my slimline, shaped slimline card. I love the size of these cards. They're so much fun. So I've got that part that I showed you earlier that you can see a little more clearly, the little bit of darkness. That's where the die is, the blade. This part up here does not have any blade to cut, any raised edge to cut. So when I run it through my machine, nothing's going to happen on that top edge. I put it on the folded part so that will keep my fold intact. I'm going to use some mint tape here, and I will add this on here to keep my die from moving. And I should have peeled it off before, so I'm just going to do this one-handed and see if I can get this positioned exactly where I want it to be so it will stay in my die cutting machine. Okay, here's the second piece I'm going to layer on there, and I'm just adding this right to the edge. You can kind of feel where that edge is. When you flip it over, you can see I've got a little bit of an edge and it will not cut there. I'll trim that little extra piece off, and then I'm going to run this through my machine, and this is what you get. It's so easy, and again, I really love the slimline size, the mini slimline size. This is a fun addition to my craft stash, and I just find that it's a fun way to have a shaped card, but a little bit of a different size. And of course, you could make your own slimlines, but you wouldn't have all these beautiful layering dies that just make it a snap to put any kind of card together. So I'm going to pull out my cutting machine, and I'm going to use that pattern paper here and run this through. I'm trying to decide if I'm just going to do the solid image, which would be that scalloped edge, or if I want to cut out the inside. And on this card, I'm going to keep it just a solid image. Just getting myself together here, and then I'll add this on here and run it through my little diamond press machine. Add a little piece of tape, just because it's a pattern paper, I want it to stay pretty straight so it won't come out totally crooked. So I'm just going to add this to the folder and run it through my machine. I'm using a little slimline folder. I have some dies from Diamond Press that have slimline size, so they include these little folders that are a little bit longer, and that fits perfectly. And then you have this beautiful border. There's a little bit of a detail as well, a stitched detail. You can see a little bit on the camera. It's so pretty. These dies are so fun, and they make easy cards. You just add some patterned paper and whatever else you want to. It's super easy. So I'm going to adhere that, but first I'm going to add a square. I want to cut out one that sort of works with the tone of that flower. And here you can really see that beautiful stitching detail. I'm going to take some liquid glue here and add this on, and then I'll come back and add that square to the top. And then I'm going to use a little bit of that ephemera from the One Fine Day collection to finish off the front of this card. It's just so pretty. I love strawberries. I just saw some strawberry plants recently on a trip, and they were getting ready to be ripe, and it won't be long before it's strawberry season where I live. Just super pretty. Love strawberries. All right, I was going to pop that square up, but I decided to leave it flat because I'm going to add some ephemera on top, and I will use my foam to pop that up. They're this sweet little bunny that's included in that ephemera kit. Again, such high quality ephemera. LDRS just does everything so well. If you follow my channel at all, you know I'm a big fan of their products. They've got all these toner products that I love. And then just this ephemera I was so happy with, and especially that patterned paper. Like I say, I'm having a hard time letting it go. Now I decided that I wanted to do a little extra on this card inside. I'm going to use one of these layering dies to cut out a piece of cardstock, and I'm just going to create a little pocket with this. So I'm going to pull that out, and then I will cut that down with my trimmer. I'm just kind of guesstimating where I want it to fit in my card. I'm going to trim that down to about 3 inches. And then we can add this in. So I'm going to take some liquid glue here. You could use a very fine tape runner as well if you wanted to. I've got this Miss U Tons. I have a daughter at college, and I'm going to create this little pocket for a gift card. And this sentiment in this set, this is I think a craft kit, or maybe they called it a card kit. It had this beautiful stamp, large stamp, and then some stamps, and then there's a stencil that goes with it as well. I may have a video of this set on my channel, or maybe a little short video showing you how easy it is to use, but I love the font and the sentiment on that. Again, big fan of LDRS. All right, I'm going to pull out some blue ink, similar tones to my pattern paper, just that I thought that would work well, and I'm going to ink this up, and then I will come back. After that is finished, I'm going to pull out a little more of some pattern paper that I'm going to add to the bottom of my pocket. So it's just a little extra step if you were interested in turning your card into a gift card holder. You could even tuck some money in there if you wanted to. Just a little bit of a surprise inside from a maybe traditional gift card holder that you would have. So I've got that gorgeous paper. I'm going to trim off the darkest bit of it, and then I'm going to add this onto my paper. You could stamp on there as well, but I thought the paper would look nice tying in those colors together. All right, so there's that. I'm going to trim this off, save that little piece. You can use that for something else for sure. And then I'm going to work on adhering my card, my little panel, I should say, into there. And I'm just making sure that my gift card fits. It does. You could use that larger piece if you wanted a little bit more room. Maybe if you wanted to add some money in there, it might be a little bit thicker. This fits. It's not too tight, but it's snug. If you wanted to make a little bit thicker with money or something like that, or even maybe you could make a bookmark or something you could add in there. So I love a little pocket. They're a lot of fun to make and super easy. Okay, so I'm just going to adhere this down, and I'm going to let that dry really well, and then that will be it on this card. I've given it a second. I did let the top stay a little bit loose so I'd have a little bit of room, and then that's it on that one. Super cute, very, very quick and easy. All right, now I'm going to move on to the Elegant Stitched Mini Slimline. Same idea. You can see at the top a little more clearly on this one that there's no die edge to cut. And then all these beautiful layering pieces with lots of stitch detail. Just such high quality and so well thought out. And I love the shape of this card. I actually bought this set because of the shape of this slimline, but I actually am really, really loving the scalloped one as well. So it ended up being a great benefit to me to get both of them in that set because they both are so, so pretty. So again, I'm going to create the same process of just kind of butting that card edge, the edge of this die, I should say, up to that card top where the fold is. And then I'll repeat that same process, and you will see you've got a beautiful, beautiful card. And you can use the rest of that paper for other little projects. Don't throw it away, of course. Save that for something else. I pulled out that gorgeous honeycomb cardstock, and I'm going to cut that out as my layering piece. I thought about making that into a frame, but I decided against it because it was just so pretty. I wanted to see all of it. So I'm going to glue this down, adding this to my card, and trying to decide which way I'm going to make it go. And then I made my final decision here, and I will adhere that down. You can see this pattern paper is two-sided. You get to a beautiful side on the back as well. But that stitch detail is so nice. And I'm just placing that there, and then I will work on the rest of my card front. Here are a few pieces of ephemera from that kit that I thought went well with the hexagon paper and the Be Sweet honey. I thought that would be sweet. I used to tell my children when they were little, be sweet, be sweet. And so when I saw that little piece of ephemera in there, I thought that would be appropriate for a card for one of my daughters. Okay, I'm going to add another bit of foam. Has these cute little bees on here as well in this package. And I'm going to trim that foam piece down to make sure it fits. And then I can add all of those to my card front. And these are just so quick and easy. You could use any pattern paper that you have, and you could mass produce these for sure. I'm going to add this last bee here and then pop up my honey. And that will finish the front of this card. But I'm going to add a little bit to my bees. When I have ephemera, a lot of times I like to add a little bit of glitter glue. I love glitter glue. If you've watched any of my videos, you know I love some stickles. It's one of my go-to products in my craft room. It just lets you add a little bit of glitz without the mess, and it dries so nicely. It dries really flat for the most part, and it just gives you such a great sparkle and shine. So if you don't have any stickles, I recommend that you pick a bottle up because they're a lot of fun. All right, I've gone ahead and sped this up, cutting out some of my other cardstock that I had pulled. And on this one, I made that frame by taking the second largest frame die, putting that, and then adding the smaller one inside, and you get this beautiful frame. And then I also cut a piece of that One Fine Day pattern paper. And then I will just add this on here, but you could turn that into a shaker card if you wanted to. It would be possible to do so. And I'm going to glue, this one doesn't want to glue down, but there I'm going to finally get that one edge that was missing, have that down. And we are ready to assemble this card. And again, you can see how quick and easy that is. I've kept the tones in these beautiful pinks, which are a lot of fun. And then this set, if you remember, has all of these beautiful They're squares, but kind of the rounded squares, and they are just a lot of fun, a lot going on with these. So I've die cut a bunch of these, all of them that were included in the set, and I'm just going to layer them up together with some purples and a light pink. And then I will add that last one on the top. And then I have stamped the sentiment. I'll show you where that comes from in just a second. That's an LDRS, a little bit of an older stamp set. It is called Tea Time Fairies. That was also on HSN. That is how I found LDRS long ago, was from HSN. They also are known as Little Darlings on HSN, but they have had some fantastic products on there over the years. And I have loved everything I have gotten from them. Okay, so let me add this to my card front. And it's a little hard to see, but they're really not that thick. It doesn't add that much bulk to your card, layering all those pieces together, and it just looks so awesome. I'm going to add a couple of flowers, again from that ephemera kit, and you can see that it'll stand up and will be super, super cute. Okay, well, thanks so much for watching. I'm just going to do a quick recap. Here's that first card with the scalloped rectangle that I turned into a card holder, gift card holder. Got this Be Sweet Honey. The wings have dried with a little bit of glitzy glitter. This is the last one I created that has the Be Uniquely You on the front. And then I went ahead and made a couple more just because I had time and they were so quick and easy. That Sweet Life is from that ephemera pack. And then on this last one, that Thinking of You is one of those toner pieces that they have released. I just used one of the dies that was included in that slimline set, that elegant slimline set. And I'll show you what that paper is. So they have this toner, everyday sayings toner sheet that you can run through your laminator with some deco foil on there. And then I just die cut that out because it fit perfectly. So I have a toner video as well. If you like that kind of product, you may want to check that out from LDRS as well. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that you'll subscribe and check out these products. Have a great day. Thanks so much.